not already part of Clan Nova, get ready, because I'm about to change your fucking life. Hey everybody, this is JJ Johnson Jones coming to you from the Imperial News Network doing a special behind the camera with Kal'lan Nova. And here he is, the man himself, celebrity bounty hunter, Holonet superstar, Cal. Tell me, how does it feel to be back after such a long hiatus? Honestly, JJ, it feels pretty fucking good. I've been keeping busy in the off season, but there ain't nothing the same as doing the show for all my badass fans. I just hope I can make this season even more awesome than the last season, if that's even possible. Well, I'm sure all your fans are going to be super stoked to hear that. So tell us, Cal, what is the Nova Star? You're sitting on it, my man. The Nova Star is actually the name of my ship, which was, named after me because I'm Nova, and it sounds awesome. But then I just decided to name the show after it. The Adventures of the Nova Star. Wherever the ship goes, I go, and awesomeness follows. Let's get serious, Cal. I know it's not all flowers and fun. What do you say to the naysayers that say that you are totally in love with yourself and extremely arrogant? Well, I guess I'd say thank you. I wake up every morning and look at myself in the mirror and I say, I love you because you are freaking awesome. And I'll tell you this, anyone that can't do that, well, I ain't your problem, my man. You got bigger issues. So you wouldn't deny it. You would actually go on record as saying that you are totally in love with yourself? Of course I am, JJ. Shouldn't we all be in love with ourselves? Look, let me hit you with a little knowledge. Let's assume for a moment that everyone in the galaxy thought like old Cal. Suicide? What? My life is far too awesome and precious to ever consider killing myself. If everyone in the galaxy thought like me, the suicide rate would be like 0%. Is that so bad? So you would tell people that everybody should be in love with themselves? Of course I would, because people are awesome. Look, man, I might be in love with myself, like completely, but people that know me will tell you I'm also the first one to throw out compliments. Just last night in SWTOR, I ran into an old buddy of mine. Complimented him on how much of a sexy beast of a man he was. Complimented his two hot friends. Complimented some weird Sith guy for fighting on the front lines and all the sacrifices he's made as a soldier. I even complimented a nicely dressed gay couple. I mean, I don't think they were really gay. It was technically a guy and a girl, but it ends up they were both dicks. So, So clearly you don't get along with everybody either. So let me ask you this, Cal. What is it in your mind that makes you classify someone as a dick? I mean, is just not being a fan enough? If I'm not a fan, does that make me a dick? We're starting to say dick a lot. I like where this conversation's going. Anyway, to answer your question, no. Just not being a fan of the show does not make you a dick. Do you remember that old rule you learned when you were in school about if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all? Well, if you follow that rule, you will never be a dick. Right? If you're not a fan, or you don't like my attitude, just keep it to yourself. If you don't like it, guess what? I don't care. I'm not going to change. My fans don't care. They don't want me to change. So ultimately, who are you trying to impress by calling me out or acting like a jerk? Just leave. I don't want to hear it. That same night in SWTOR, one of those guys said something about taking me down a peg. And my first thought was, dude, instead of wasting all your time trying to take me down a peg, why don't you spend some of that effort and take yourself up a peg? Be awesome with me, man. Well, Cal, I do have to point out that you've built a career on talking trash about people. I mean, you say a lot of not nice things. Does that make you a dick? Oh, you sneaky bastard, you totally got me. Yeah, I guess I am kind of a dick. But, usually when I talk trash, it's before I kill the guy. So, It's like, what's worse? Do you think he minds that I talk shit about him, or that I put a 4-inch hole in his chest with my blaster? I mean, it's give and take, my man. So then, aside from the targets you hunt, you don't just walk around talking trash to everybody then, right? Well, we've been sitting here for a hot minute and I ain't started talking trash about you yet, have I? No, you haven't. To be honest with you, I'm just fine with that. I will say that you might be one of the most controversial characters in the Empire today. There's rumors floating about you about everything. From being a dick to being a great guy, even being a secret Imperial agent, that the entire show is just some front for some secret military operation. Does it bother you that so many people have so many widely varying opinions on you? Of course not. I don't want to be defined by one thing. I mean, aside from the whole secret Imperial agent thing, Kal'lan Nova is all those things. Kal'lan Nova is a dick, and he is a nice guy, and he's super badass and awesome. He's all those things combined, so no, it doesn't bother me at all. Okay, Cal. I want to ask you a couple questions now that for a bounty hunter might seem very personal. What do you say to people that question the validity of your show? What do you say to people that think the show is staged and that none of your hunts are actually real? Well, I would probably tell them to eat a dick, JJ. But seriously, bounty hunting is a competitive business, my man, and there's a lot of really skilled hunters out there. And it only takes one really skilled hunter to discredit you, or one really skilled hunter to prove that you're a fraud. That's why most bounty hunters play it straight, and those that don't get busted real fast. While we're on the topic of other skilled hunters, what would you say to other hunters who think that you're just a showman, that think that you don't actually have any real bounty hunting skills? Are there people like that? There's always people like that, although a lot less now, to be honest with you. Bounty hunters might work for credits, but the only currency that flies between them is respect, and that respect has got to be earned. That's what keeps bounty hunters on equal footing. It doesn't matter if you have your own show or just some crap-ass rusty equipment you got from your dad when you were a kid. If you can hunt, you can hunt. If you want respect, respect your profession and respect your fellow hunters. That's what it really boils down to, my man. Well, you've clearly earned a reputation as a skilled hunter now, and you're clearly famous also. So what's your favorite part about that fame? Honestly, is it the women and the parties, or is there more to it than that? Come on, man, I'm Kal'lan Nova. Of course I love the women and the parties. Women and parties, I'd have them all the time if I could. Like ice cream, you can never have too much. But there is more to it than that, too. Being famous means you can do stuff you normally couldn't do, and some things that normally wouldn't matter suddenly matter. Now, don't get me wrong, man. Everybody and everything matters, but being famous means mattering to people that have never met you before in their life. When I go to a forward camp of the troops to tell them how awesome they are, it matters. They go crazy. They're like, oh my god, it's Kal'lan Nova. He's so super and awesome and badass. And I go to them and I'm like, no, dude, you're badass. You keep killing those stupid Republic dumbasses. And they're like, yeah. And it's awesome, man. Like, inspire morale and stuff. That's the best part of this job. I wouldn't change it for nothing. I love being famous. Last question, Cal. The one thing I've heard consistently about you above all other things is that despite the fact that you love yourself, the one thing you love even more than that is your fans. So what would you say to them right now? Well, I would tell my fans you are absolutely 100% correct, my man. I love my fans, even more than I love myself. Anyone that knows me knows that's saying a lot. Dude, if one of my fans sent me a message right now that said, Cal, help, I'm surrounded by these Republic scumbags, I would just turn to him and say, dude, why are you sending me messages, man? I'm right here. Now let's go smoke these fools. And we would totally just go smoke the whole Republic. Like, the war would be over. That would be it. Just me and my fan. Aside from that, I would just tell them to keep being their usual super awesome badass self. I mean, you can't improve perfection, can you? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. And they love you too, that's for sure. Thanks for having this sit down with us, Cal, and giving us more in-depth perspective on your insight. This is JJ Johnson Jones with Imperial News Network, signing off.